cover it. And that's the angle. And joining me now with reaction from Orlando is Roger Stone, a political consultant and former Trump campaign advisor. Roger, it is great to see you. I compiled that montage for you, my team did, because I know you love to be reminded of all the wit and wisdom and prognostication skills of the commentariat that routinely question the president's mental fitness, his stability, and so forth. Give us a sense of what you believe is really going on with someone like a Scarborough, who used to be a Republican congressman.
Well, the first thing to understand here is that all of this means that the Russian collusion delusion has failed. The Democrats and their handmaidens in the media, having been able to produce no evidence whatsoever of real Russian collusion to assist in the election of Donald Trump, have now switched to Plan B. Plan B is, oh, Donald Trump's crazy. He's mentally unstable. He's nuts. No, not at all. He has his eccentricities. So did Harry Truman. So did Theodore Roosevelt. So did Andrew Jackson. In the case of a guy like Joe Scarborough, this is just bitter jealousy. The entire time Joe Scarborough was in the House of Representatives, he told his aides and his successor in Congress that he would someday be president. When Donald Trump was nominated for president, Joe Scarborough thought he should be the nominee. When President Trump chose Vice President Pence for vice president, Joe Scarborough thought he should be vice president.
That's hilarious.
And now, that didn't stop Joe and Mika from brown-nosing around Mar-a-Lago. In fact, we now know it was Mika who recommended Dina Habib Powell for the Deputy National Security Director in the Trump administration. But at the same time, they have turned on him out of bitterness. This is the establishment's next narrative. It is a precursor for a 25th Amendment argument against the president.
To remove the president.
It's really pathetic.
They want him out. And I've said from day one, Roger, the first of all, they thought I wasn't going to win. They thought Billy Bush and McCain attacks and Khazir Khan and all that stuff. They kept predicting his political demise. And now they're going with this wolf narrative that bolsters their old narrative that the man is unhinged. I want to play something that he said on the Today Show this morning with Savannah Guthrie. Again, this is Michael Wolff, who wrote this lurid book. Let's watch.
In the beginning, it was like every 25 or 30 minutes, you would get the same 3 stories repeated. Now it's the same 3 stories in every 10 minutes.
What are you arguing there?
I will quote Steve Bannon. He's lost it.
Your reaction to that? Bannon, according to this report, said he's lost it. I've been around the president. I repeat things. I give speeches. I say the same anecdotes. But repeating things and do people have a stopwatch, Roger, in there? This is just ridiculous.
No, look, unfortunately, I wanted to give Steve Bannon the benefit of the doubt, particularly given Mr. Wolf's long history as a fabricator and a fictional writer. But unfortunately, I think the facts are in. You might chalk this up to animus if it had happened after Steve Bannon left the White House, but we learned that he was saying these things while he was on the White House payroll, and he owed his loyalty to Donald Trump. The idea that the president didn't want to win, didn't expect to win, I spoke to him throughout the campaign. Never once did he say that he either didn't want to win, and in every conversation, he was confident that he would. So I chalked the entire thing up to your typical inside the Beltway maelstrom, where a political operative who the voters have never heard of and don't care about are trying to whip up a narrative that is their plan B. The Trump presidency is unstable because the president is nuts. Look, in Lyndon Johnson, we had a president who actually conducted White House meetings while sitting on the toilet defecating. But now they're saying Trump is crazy. No, Trump is the same solid citizen he's ever been. Yeah, he has his own style, and
like
he used it to. And he used it to win the greatest upset victory in American political history.
Roger, they're so embarrassed. They still are so embarrassed, and they're so angry that they got it wrong. And those clips will live on forever. I'm going to play those clips or clips like it, every week till I don't know how long, till and maybe we don't hear from these people anymore. But we have to remind people of who routinely gets it right and who routinely gets it wrong. Trump, on issue after issue, has demonstrated that he has more savvy and a greater ability to connect with the average voter than any of these Manhattan, Washington coastal elites combined. And I think it just drives them batty. I want to read something to you. This is from Tony Blair, Roger, and he disputes a claim in the book. He said, as a story about British surveillance during the campaign that apparently is in Wolf's book, he says the story, as we pointed out, is complete fabrication. Literally from the beginning to end. I never had such a conversation in the White House, outside of the White House, with Jared Kushner, or with anybody else claiming that the campaign was under British surveillance. So another person, probably not a big fan of the president's, maybe saying the wolf, the wolf is howling at the moon.
None of this is going to change anything. The Trump core constituency will remain strongly behind the president as long as he continues to keep faith with them on the platform that got him elected. We have a record stock market. We have unemployment at historic lows, a boom in the housing market, a solid conservative on the Supreme Court. Donald Trump's making America great again, and candidly, nobody really cares about what Steve Bannon thinks.
Roger Stone, thanks so much. And joining us now on